Hey YouTube, I wanted to show you some single stack pistols that I like. The first belongs to a friend of mine. Let's do this the right way. Alright, we're good to go. 9mm, thin, Glock. Reliable, easy to shoot, easy to carry, lightweight, reasonably priced. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that. So this one has a mass of 516 grams. Now compare that to something like this. Excuse me while I whip this out. Alright, car, PM40. Similar, thin. Wait a minute. Let's do this right. Empty. Empty. Alright. So now we got a 40 instead of a 9. This one is carry only, and it's not fun at the range. At least not for any kind of extended session. I bought it new a long time ago, and I really like it. The PM stands for polymer micro 40 caliber. People think that it's a copy of the Glock, and it's really not. They have polymer frames. Glock wasn't the first, that was HK. But it is very different internally. But this one is lighter than the Glock. Definitely smaller. Now this will be hard to see at a slight angle. I will be very careful with these. This is lined up. Here we go. But overall, two great pistols. So now we need to talk about a cool pair of twins. The Sig P220. Empty. 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 Okay. Decocking lever. Check it out. So the P220 was first made in '75. It was a replacement for the Sig P210, which is a great pistol, but it's very expensive to manufacture. So this is more on the duty side, even though people have carried the P210. And this is 45 ACP. Quite a bit heavier than the last two. Now we have a mass of 859 grams for the 45, but a mass of 807 for the 9mm. There's not that much difference in mass, despite being a considerable difference in foot-pounds of energy. So the 9mm is always going to be more pleasant to shoot. That makes sense, right? So during this trial, all the states of Germany could pick whichever pistol they wanted. Now the Walther had a P5. This was called the P6, which we call the P220, and HK had the P7, which is coming up real soon. A lot of the states of Germany chose the P220 because it was cheaper and had similar performance to the other ones. Now notice the well-folded, stamped sheet metal trigger. The original slides were stamped sheet metal and then welded on the ends, and that saved a lot of money. Pretty simple to operate. The decocker is excellent. There's not a whole lot of controls. This is the takedown lever, slide stop, mag release naturally. Now the German versions had a heel release. Generally Americans don't like those, so we get the traditional kind here of mag release, the push button style. This one I bought used as a police trade-in, but it's in excellent shape. I really wanted a project gun, but it's so nice I decided not to do anything to it. Why would I? I'll buy another one. But the bigger brother is single stack and cool. Significantly larger. Newer style. Now, if you look at the trigger, do you see that? Now, we don't have a stamped trigger. We do have an accessory rail. Oh, I know what I forgot to show you. This is made in Germany. P225 was made in West Germany. Now, this is just a lot of fun to shoot. This is too big for me to carry. I would have to have a shoulder rig somewhere up in North Dakota, or something like that, in January. What a great range gun. It'll take care of business anytime you want it to. I just love the solid feel of this forged aluminum chassis. It's really nice. Now we get to the Rolls Royce of pistols, HK P7M8. And this is one of my favorite pistols. First, so you know, empty, empty. And then how do you drop the slide? Squeeze the lever. It's ready to go. Notice the cocking indicator. Date code, IE, means it was made in 1984. It was made in West Germany. Really neat, all steel, kind of heavy. The first was the PSP. Now during the German pistol trials that I was telling you about, Walther had the P5, Sig introduced the P6, then HK introduced P7. The PSP was first, and that's police self-loading pistol. Later called the P7. For the American market, it's P7M8, which had a couple of small updates. We didn't get the heel release. So the barrel is pinned. It does not pivot like the standard Browning system. Has a gas delayed blowback system. So there's a pin just inside of here, and then a tunnel that gets combustion gas. So as the slide is retracting, it's met with resistance from pressure inside the cylinder. That pressure rapidly decreases, the slide returns, picks up a new cartridge, and you're ready to go again. Striker fired. A lot of people don't realize that. That's what you're doing when you squeeze this lever. You are preloading the striker. So it takes 15 pounds of force to squeeze the lever, but 2 pounds of force to maintain it. If you were to drop it, it would be deactivated before it hits the ground. It's done. There's nothing to fire. There's no energy in the firing system, so the firing pin cannot strike the primer. Polygon rifling, very accurate because of the pinned barrel. The chamber is fluted. That's definitely machine gun stuff. So the fluted chamber has gas, so flute surrounding the chamber, and gas will keep the brass from sticking to the chamber, is the idea. Loaded cartridge indicator. So also, this is one of my favorite parts. The magazine angle is optimized for proper feeding. The grip angle is optimized for comfort and accuracy. I love that. It's very nice. Fully ambidextrous. There's no controls on either side other than the magazine drop lever. But lefties love it, righties love it. What a great piece of engineering. What are the negatives? There are two. It is expensive and it gets hot. So hot that HK included a plastic guard as an insulator so you can shoot a little bit longer, because that gas system I mentioned is just above this line here. So this steel heats up rapidly. Other than that, it is the perfect pistol. Why the Ruger Mark series? It was first introduced in 1949. It's a copy of the Japanese Nambu pistol. It's really not a stellar piece of engineering. This is two pieces of stamped steel for the frame, A pretty basic receiver. The trigger's not very good, stock, but it's a lot of fun. Now, this one I've had for a long time. Of course, the red dot sight, this is made in Japan, not the later ones, which were made in countries I can't pronounce. I like it. I know the new ones are smaller. I don't care. I still like it. I've introduced probably 24 new shooters to shooting with this very pistol. So of course it has the same mods that everyone else does. You got to fix the trigger. Got to have a removable bolt stop so you can clean this thing straight through like a bolt action rifle. Heel release, remember we've been talking about that. The Packlight barrel is much lighter, but the best thing about it is this, because once you get a suppressor, then you think everything should have a suppressor mount. So this is a lot of fun. I just wanted to mention it just because it's single stack and it's cool. If you don't have one, buy one. I'm not fond of the Mark III. Either get a Mark II or a Mark IV and shoot as many rounds as you can. This is new in the box. It's about 40 years old. It's not a special series. I know what it is and I know what it isn't. I like it. It looks like art to me. Okay, so 38 Super. Back in IPSC competition, that was all the rage back then. Oh, hold on, let's do this right. Empty. Empty. Cocked and locked. Ooh. So, what a great gun. It's heavy. It's big. It's simple. It's reliable. This has Colt bluing on it, back when things were blue instead of black. And I still like the look of that. So I'm never going to shoot this pistol. Generally, I don't do things like that. But I'm going to keep this one the way it is. It's a time capsule. It'll take me back to another era.